This is how I almost got beat up over Shadowrun. So, the year is 1992, and I am striding into one of the most uncomfortable periods of my life, middle school. My small clutch of friends at the time are getting into this new thing, well, new to us, role-playing games. We all heard stories about how role-playing games are super evil and how we shouldn't do them, so obviously they're the only thing that we want to do. So, at lunch, we devise a plan to get one of the books. The leader of our group at the time tells us about this game that he played with his cousin. Now, this game's got robots and guns and crime and people with cybernetics, and he sold us on us right there. So we got together the $26 to buy this game, and at the time that was like a car payment. And I got nominated to go buy the book. So I took everybody's money and I went out to our local game store to go buy it. Now I saw the cover of this book and it blew me away. It was super futuristic. There was a guy that was hacking this computer and another person that was like doing magic, and another guy had twin Uzis and he was shooting at some presumably bad guys. I opened the book up and it's got everything my friend said. It's got robots, it's got guns, and all the adventures in between. Shadowrun was this unique tabletop role-playing game experience. It blended this world that was high-tech and cyberpunk with the cool high-top fade of urban fantasy and magic. And it was all set in this wild, sad future around the year 2070, so not so far away. The universe is this mash of advanced tech, megacorporate shenanigans, and ancient magic. And the players are Shadowrunners or mercenaries who navigate the world with cybernetic enhancement, hacking skills, and magic. And it had orcs in it. And you could play them, they weren't bad guys. And I felt like that. I felt like an orc then. I felt like, I don't know, I was going through all these changes, and the world of Shadowrun, this thing happened, this big event where these people randomly became all these fantastical creatures. People became like trolls and elves and orcs. And at that period of my life, I felt like I was turning into an orc. It felt like that I didn't have anything to hold on to. It felt like the ground was opening up and I was getting swallowed by the world. I felt like no one cared about me, just like these orcs. So I bought the book and I brought it to my friends, and I had this big smile on my face, and they were like, "What the hell is this? This isn't the right book." I couldn't believe it. They wanted a different book that had robots and guns and crime, and they didn't even know the name of that book. So I had to give them back all their money. And it really felt like I lost all of my friends. And I went home and I cried. And I thought I was worse off than when I started all of this. It felt like I lost the only 4 friends that I had. What I did have was this book. And I read it. And I learned how to tell a story. I learned how to run an adventure. I learned how to tell a story in this hyper-tech world that had magic in it. And I told those stories over the phone, back to my friends who didn't want this book. And one by one, I sold them all. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because that day I learned that a story can save you. It can save your friends. Walking into some of the darkest parts of my life, I don't know if I wouldn't have made it if I didn't have a story. If I didn't have a bigger, badder story than the circumstance that I was in. Thanks for your time, guys.